Okay, so today we are going to review how to multiply decimals. I've got some things written at the top where just reminders that you multiply the numbers like normal, okay? We're not going to worry about the decimal points until we get our answer, and then we'll place the decimal point back in. Remember when we were adding and subtracting decimals, we lined up the decimal points, and we do not do that. It just makes it more difficult if we do that while we're multiplying. So all I suggest, and I usually tell students, is to put the longer number on top. In this case, it's 0.5 has 2 digits, so I would put that on top. Notice I didn't say the larger number. The larger number is 7, but the longer, the one with the most digits, is 0.5. So I'm going to put that on top, and 7 is going to go on the bottom, okay? And we're going to shift that 7 over as far as it can go to the right. So we have 0.5 times 7, and then we just take our 7 and multiply it by the 5 and then by the 0. Multiply the 7 through is what we say. 7 times 5 is 35. We carry our 3. 7 times 0 is 0. Plus 3 would be 3. And then we need to worry about our decimal point. We're not going to drop it down like we do with adding or subtracting. What we do is we count how many places to the right of each decimal. So right here in 0.5, we have one number to the right of the decimal. Here we don't have a decimal point shown. We know when it's not shown, there's an invisible one behind the 7, but there's nothing behind that but 0. So we'd only have one number past our decimal point. So that means we're going to move our decimal point from the end to the left one time. So our answer is 3.5. Okay, so number 2. The longer number is 0.08, so I'm going to put that on top, times 12. So I'm going to take 12 and I'm going to shift it over to the right as far as it can go. So that means the 1 is going to be under this 0 and the 2 under the 8. So now I'm going to take, and I'm only going to multiply the 2 by everything up here. So 2 times 8, 2 times 0, 2 times 0. So 2 times 8 is 16. I'm going to carry my 1. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1, and 2 times 0 is 0. And then I tell students to always go back and mark those off, the numbers that you carried, or erase them or something, because now we have to multiply the 1 through. We just got done multiplying the 2 by everything. Now we have to multiply the 1 by the 8, the 1 by the 0, the 1 by the 0. But notice this 1 is going to end up right here, so we have to put a 0 here for a placeholder. Okay, and start multiplying. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 0 is 0. And now we've multiplied everything through. Notice it's a 2-digit number, and we have 2 lines that we had to multiply it by through, and now we can add it up. 6 plus 0 is 6. 1 plus 8 is 9. 0 and 0. And now we need to place our decimal point. So I go back to the 2 numbers. There's 2 numbers past that decimal place, and none here. So that's a total of 2. So I'm going to move it 1, 2. So our answer is 96 hundredths. Okay. Number 3, we have 3.42 times 5.15. There is not a longer number. They each have 3 digits, so it really does not matter what you put on top. 3.42 times 5.15. Okay, my first row is going to be multiplying the 5 by every number up on the top numbers. So 5 times 2, 5 times 4, 5 times 3. So 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus 1 is 21. So I put my 1 down, carry my 2. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17. So that's the first row. Go back and erase or mark out those numbers that you carried. And now we're going to multiply our 1 through. 1 times 2, 1 times 4, 1 times 3. But that will only come right here, so I have to put a 0 here as a placeholder. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3. Be careful keeping each column lined up, nice and neat. Okay, I have 3 numbers I'm multiplying through, so I should have 3 rows here. So now I'm going to multiply the 5 through. I'll take 5 times 2, 5 times 4, 5 times 3. But that's going to go right here. So I have 2 numbers past that, so I have to add 2 zeros behind it. 5 times 2 is 10. I'm going to put my 0 down and carry my 1. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Put my 1 down, carry my 2. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17. And now I've multiplied all 3 numbers through. I know because I have 3 rows, and I added up. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 2 is 3. 7 plus 4 is 11. Carry your 1. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a 1. Now we have to decide where our decimal point is going. Now before we do that, let's kind of estimate. This is about 3, this is about 5. 3 times 5 is 15. So I'm betting my decimal point is going to be somewhere after the 7 for around 17. 176 would not be a good answer. Okay, so I'm going to count. There's 2 places past this decimal point. There's 2 places past this decimal point. Add those up and you get 4. So you're going to move your decimal point over 4 times from the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get 17.6130. Okay, I'm going to start doing number 4. I'm going to put the longer number on top. And I'm going to put 1.9 on bottom, lining up the 1 under the 4 and the 9 under the 6. And I'm just going to multiply the 9 through now. It's 41, carry your 4. 9 times 0 is 0, but I have to add that 4, so I get 4. Mark those off. Now I multiply the 1 through. So I'm going to put a 0 for a placeholder. 1 times 6 is 6, 1 times 4 is 4, and 1 times 0 is 0. Add. And now I need to place my decimal point. Okay, if I estimate first, 1.9 is about 2, and this is 0, so 2 times 0 is 0. My answer, my decimal point is probably going to be about right here, close to 0. So 2 numbers past the decimal point here, 1 number past the decimal point here, for a total of 3 places over. So start at the end, 1, 2, 3, 0.874. All right. Number 5 says a movie theater is having a special. All right, so I should not have printed these like this with the rest of it on the back. If a group of 4 pays $7.25 each for tickets, so each person is paying $7.25, and there's 4 people. Each person can get popcorn and a drink for $5.75. Use the expression 4 times the sum of $5.75 plus $7.25 to find the total cost for 4 friends. So this is the cost of the popcorn and drink, and this is the cost of the ticket. So what they're doing is they're adding those together to get the total cost for 1 person, and then we'll multiply by 4. Okay, so I'm going to take 5.75 plus $7.25 for the ticket. Add it up. Remember, we line up our decimal points when we add. Drop it straight down. So it looks like each person would pay $13. And then we want to know the cost for 4 friends. So 13 times 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Carry your 1. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So it looks like $52 would be the total for 4 friends. And then the last one says the wings of some hummingbirds beat 52 times per second when hovering. Okay, so 52 times each second. If a hummingbird hovers for 35.5 seconds, how many times do its wings beat? So 52 times per second, so that's 52, 52, 52, 52, 52 for 35.5 times. Okay, so that's multiplying. So let's put the longer number on top, 35.5 times 52. So the 5 is under the 5, and the 2 is under this 5. So we'll multiply the 2 through first. 2 times 5, 2 times 5, 2 times 3. Okay, I got 710. Mark those off. Now we'll multiply the 5 through. 5 times 5, 5 times 5, 5 times 3. That's going to go straight down underneath here, so I'm going to put 0 as a placeholder. 5 times 5 is 25, carry my 2. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 2 is 27, carry my 2. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17. Add it up, keeping everything lined up. 0, 6, 14, carry your 1, 8, 1. We only have one number past the decimal point here, so I'm going to move it over one time. So it looks like that hummingbird's wings will be 1,846 times in 35.5 seconds.